Howdy y'all, Galator here. And for episode 3, we're going to be reading the book Sargeras and the Betrayal. So I found this one in Astronar. It's in a little house across from the inn. But a quick Google shows me that you can also find it in Hammerfall's Inn, in the Arathi Highlands, in Ratchet's Inn, in the Barrens, as well as the Reliquary of Sholomance in the Western Plaguelands. So let's jump right in. Over time, demonic entities made their way into the Titan's worlds from the twisting nether, and the Pantheon elected its greatest warrior, Sargeras, to act as its first line of defense. A noble giant of molten bronze, Sargeras carried out his duties for countless millennia, seeking out and destroying these demons wherever he could find them. Over the eons, Sargeras encountered two powerful demonic races, both of which were bent on gaining power and dominance over the physical universe. The Eridar, an insidious race of devilish sorcerers, used their warlock magics to invade and enslave a number of worlds. The indigenous races of those worlds were mutated by the Eridar's malevolent powers and turned into demons themselves. Though Sargeras' nearly limitless powers were more than enough to defeat the vile Eridar, he was greatly troubled by the creature's corruption and all-consuming evil. Incapable of fathoming such depravity, the Great Titan began to slip into a brooding depression. Despite his growing unease, Sargeras rid the universe of the warlocks by trapping them within a corner of the twisting nether. While his confusion and misery deepened, Sargeras was forced to contend with another group's intent on disrupting the Titan's orders, the Nathrazim. This dark race of vampiric demons, also known as Dreadlords, conquered a number of populated worlds by possessing their inhabitants and turning them to the shadow. The nefarious, scheming Dreadlords turned whole nations against one another by manipulating them into unthinkable hatred and mistrust. Sargeras defeated the Nazrathim easily, but their corruption affected him deeply. As doubt and despair overwhelmed Sargeras' senses, he lost all faith not only in his mission, but also in the Titan's vision of an ordered universe. Eventually, he came to believe that the concept of order itself was folly, and that chaos and depravity were the only absolutes within the dark, lonely universe. His fellow Titans tried to persuade him of his error and calm his raging emotions, but he disregarded their more optimistic beliefs as self-serving delusions. Storming from their ranks forever, Sargeras set out to find his own place in the universe. Although the Pantheon was sorrowful at his departure, the Titans could have never predicted just how far their lost brother would go. By the time Sargeras' madness had consumed the last vestiges of his valiant spirit, he believed that the Titans themselves were responsible for the creation's failure. Deciding, at last, to undo their works throughout the universe, he resolved to form an unstoppable army that would set the physical universe aflame. Even Sargeras' titanic form became distorted from the corruption that plagued his once noble heart. His eyes, hair, and beard erupted in flame, and his metallic bronze skin split open to reveal an endless furnace of blistering hate. In his fury, Sargeras shattered the prisons of the Eridar and the Nazrathim, and set the loathsome demons free. These cunning creatures bowed before the Dark Titan's vast rage and offered to serve him in whatever malicious way they could. From the ranks of the powerful Eridar, Sargeras picked two champions to command his demonic army of destruction. Kil'jaeden the Deceiver was chosen to seek out the darkest races in the universe and recruit them into Sargeras' ranks. The second champion, Archimonde the Defiler, was chosen to lead Sargeras' vast armies into battle against any who might resist the Titan's will. Kil'jaeden's first move was to enslave the vampiric Dreadlords under his terrible power. The Dreadlords served as his personal agents throughout the universe, and they took pleasure in locating primitive races for their masters to corrupt and bring into the fold. First amongst the Dreadlords was Tichondrius the Darkener. Tichondrius served Kil'jaeden as the perfect soldier, and agreed to bring Sargeras' burning will to all the dark corners of the universe. The mighty Archimonde also empowered agents of his own, calling upon the malefic Pit Lords and their barbarous leader, Manaroth the Destructor. Archimonde hoped to establish a fighting elite that would scour creation of all life. Once Sargeras saw that his armies were amassed and ready to follow his every command, he launched into raging forces into the vastness of the Great Dark. He referred to his growing army as the Burning Legion. To this date, it's still unclear how many worlds they consumed and burned on their unholy, burning crusade across the universe. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the read, and my god, is there a lot to unpack here. Okay, so page 1, we kind of already know this. Sargeras was the one in charge of keeping the Burning Legion at bay. Page 2, hang on, I gotta switch over to this. Alright, so they say that there's these 2 demonic races, which are particularly a thorn in Sargeras' side. The first is the Eridar. This is really interesting because this is not at all WoW lore now. And essentially they kind of threw this under the bus right in Burning Crusade. So the Eridar are the Draenei that essentially they join the Burning Legion. So they were called the Eridar. Oh shit, am I right? Oh, someone's going to have to correct me in the comments. But okay, so the Draenei / Eridar, whoever they were, they had 3 leaders. And Sargeras went world to world, essentially corrupting them. And he comes to Argus, and he offers them unlimited power. And Kil'jaeden takes it, and so does... I'm so dumb, I can't even remember his name right now. Okay, and the other one takes it, but Velen doesn't. So Velen leaves, and that's the Draenei we have in Burning Crusade. But in this story, the Eridar are demonic right off the bat. So I guess they just didn't see the Draenei as a playable race at this point. So that's cool. Yep. So I like this origin story so much better for Sargeras. So it's not like... Okay, I still like it in regular WoW where he sees the threat of the void and he thinks the only action in order to stop it is to burn the universe and build a new one from the ashes. Which, I mean, that's not that original of a plot point in any movie or story. But in this one, he was tasked with protecting the universe, and the darkness and vileness of the races that he was fighting, they slowly got to him. They slowly drove him mad. He became depressed and obsessive. I think that's a really cool origin story, and I kind of wish they stuck to it. Not just, he maintained his rationality and just thought this was the best course of action. Yeah, so, I don't know, kind of cool. The Nazrathim, or Nathrazim, I've been saying those wrong, pretty much the same. I think they've always been the baddies. He fell to darkness in the lonely universe. God, that's depressing. But ain't it true? Yeah, he did implore the Pantheon, which he does do in the modern lore, but they turn him away, so he branches off into his own sect, and he just completely loses it. He decides he has to be the one to form this army. But for this case, it's not just to fight the void, it's just he thinks order is this twisted concept and chaos is really the innate form of the universe. Again, this is a lot more primal than regular WoW as it is now, so I'm a fan. I like their description of him. Even his form became distorted, so his eyes, hair, and beard erupted in fire, revealing the endless furnace of blistering hate. Sound familiar, modern WoW players? So I like how they retcon some of the lore to keep the story going, which I get as a corporation, but they keep some of the tidbits still there for us vanilla WoW people. Alright, so he breaks the Eridar and Nathrazim out. Again, the Eridar shouldn't have been there, but yeah, the Nathrazim. I'm guessing this is that place we go to in Legion, the Demon Hunters, to break people out of. Again, I didn't really play Legion, so I forget the name of the prison, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Alright, so he picks 2 champions out, Kil'jaeden and... Archimonde. God, how did I forget Archimonde? Okay, so Kil'jaeden and Archimonde, they were 2 of the 3 leaders on Argus in modern WoW lore, and Velen was the 3rd leader, and he says no. But in this case, Kil'jaeden and Archimonde are just 2 high-ups in the evil Eridar race. Tichondrius, he's still there and kicking. And Manaroth the Destructor. So they're pulling in all these big names from Warcraft 3 that they've already established as the big baddies of the Burning Legion. burning crusade across the universe. Hint, hint. So yeah, I personally like his original origin story better. I like the idea of this pure Titan, this being that is order incarnate by virtue, slowly going mad fighting the chaotic forces of the Burning Legion. So I'm not saying the modern lore isn't cool. I definitely love the modern lore. Check out Noble's channel. He does a great job of going through it. But personally, I wish they stuck with Sargeras' origin story. Let me know if you guys like this video. I'm trying a bunch of different video types out, different formats. Like and subscribe, comment if you want me to take this channel a certain direction. I've been thinking about doing maybe some live streams of obviously Vanilla WoW play. If you guys have a certain realm, server, or host you think I should stream on, let me know. Au revoir.